Hi, everybody. Okay, let's jump into the ELA packet for week 5, day 2. Week 5, day 2. Let's keep talking about vowel teams and Canada. Okay, here we go. First, let's check your phonics work from the last activity where you had a word bank and lots of words that feature the OA vowel team or the OW vowel team, which we know both make the sound O. So go ahead and compare your work to mine. If you got it right, give it a little check. And if you made any mistakes, this is a great time to fix them. No big deal. So the OA words were coat, foam, load, moan, oak, and soap. And the OW words were blown, elbow, grow, rainbow, throne, and window. Awesome job. And let's check the next part. So in this one, you had to look at the picture and then circle the word that features either OW or OA to make the O sound and matches the picture. So compare your work with mine. Again, little check if you got it right. If you didn't, go ahead and fix it, no big deal. Number 1 is blow. Number 2 is mow. She's mowing the lawn. That means cutting the grass. Number 3 is soak, which means to get very wet. Number 4 is bowl. Number 5, our favorite, a toad. Number 6, that is a road. Number 7, if I look closely, I see a magician putting on a show. Number 8, I see a boy in a pool. He is floating, so the answer is float. And number 9, I see that flower getting bigger and bigger. I chose grow. So go ahead, check your work, and now let's think about our activity for today. So we are going to keep going big with these vowel teams, OA and OW. I want you to look at each picture, and you'll see the beginning sound and the end sound is already there for you. But you've got to decide, is that an OA word or is that an OW word? So really you're looking and seeing which one does my brain recognize, okay? And once you've written the vowel team in the middle, then you can go ahead and trace those words, which I know we haven't done tracing probably since kindergarten, so enjoy it. But yep, go ahead, fill those in. And then in the next section, you're going to see 2 pictures and a blank box. And for each of these rows, all the words are going to rhyme. So for the first 2 boxes, you have to look at the picture and figure out what word matches it. And it's going to be an OW or an OA word. There's a clue at the top because that will tell you the word that it's going to rhyme with. So let's look at the first one. I see the word grow. Then, I see a picture of a snowman. So I'm going to write snowman. Then I look at the next one, I think, what's he doing? Throw. He's throwing. So I'm going to write throw. And for snowman, let's just write snow so that it rhymes. Grow, snow, throw. Then, this is the fun part, in the blank, you're going to think of a new word that rhymes, and you're going to write that word, and you are going to draw a picture to show it. So once you've written all of those rhyming words and you've added your pictures to your new words, then you are done with your phonics for today. Well done. All right, before we jump into our RRW work about Canada, I just want to let you know I don't have the answers yet for the work you did with cutting and pasting and sorting all of those provinces in Canada and the descriptions of them. I will have that. I just don't have the papers at my house right now. So I need to print them and cut them. Thought I could do it on my computer. It was too tricky. So that's coming up. So we're going to skip checking those for right now. We're going to jump into our next activity. We'll check them tomorrow. Capiche? Okay. Sorry. Thanks. So today we're going to reread our poem, Together We Are Canada. We're going to continue thinking deeply about it, analyzing it, and then we're going to answer these questions. The questions we've got to be ready to answer when we're done reading. We're going to say, what is this poem mainly about? We're going to say what the names of the 10 provinces in Canada are. And then the last one says, what is one way the author uses figurative language in this poem? Give an example from the text. I'll help you with that one when we get to it. So keep these in mind while we read, because these are the questions we're going to answer when we're all done. So here's our poem, Together We Are Canada. Go ahead and get to it in your packet. I'm going to read it again just because there's some really tough words in here, especially of places in Canada. So I'm going to read it, you're going to follow along, and then you're going to practice reading it on your own, okay? So Together We Are Canada by Leanne Gunther. My name is British Columbia, the jewel of the West Coast. Forestry and fishing are the things that I do most. Hi, I am Alberta, a Wild West kind of place, with cows and oil and mountains and lots of open space. I am Manitoba and I'm Saskatchewan. We're the golden prairies where fields of wheat grow in the sun. Hi, I am Ontario, the home of government. To me, each year the leaders of our democracy are sent. Bonjour, I am Quebec. Here French is my language too. When I want to ask how are you, I say, comment allez-vous? Newfoundland, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, those are we. We are Atlantic provinces, the 3 musketeers of the sea. I'm Prince Edward Island, and I know I may be small, but without me, all the rest of you would have no potatoes at all. The Yukon, Nunavut, and Northwest territories are up north. Through ice and cold and polar bears, few brave souls venture forth. Together we are Canada, one nation strong and free, with sharing friends and happiness, forever we will be. Awesome. So now I want you to go ahead and try reading the poem again on your own. Think about it like when we do fluency in the classroom and we practice reading the same thing over and over again so that we get really good at it, like really close to perfect. That's how I want you to think about reading this poem. Okay, so go ahead, read it 2 more times, and then let's get back to those questions. Cool. So get to your page with the questions. And I notice these are text-dependent questions, so that means I need to go back to the text to find my answers. Great readers don't guess. I'm going to make sure that everything I write comes from the ideas I learned in the text. So you're going to answer, what is this poem mainly about? I want you to answer in a complete sentence. You might be tempted to just write Canada, but I want you to think, what about Canada is this poem mainly about? Okay, you're going to do that one. Then you're going to go back into the text and you're going to name the 10 provinces of Canada. And I want you to try your hardest to spell each one correctly, even though some of them are really tricky. And remember, some of the chunks of the poem might tell you more than one province. You could also use your picture cards from your sort from the last activity to help you, because that also was from the poem and talking about the different provinces. So go ahead and fill in that chart. So then this last one says, what is one way the author uses figurative language in this poem? Give an example from the text. Now, we haven't discussed figurative language too much in 2nd grade so far. So I want you to think about it as describing language or descriptive language. But it's when you describe something by comparing it to something else. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's look at the first stanza, the first chunk of the poem. It says, my name is British Columbia, the jewel of the West Coast. Now, is that province actually a big giant jewel? No way. The writer is describing it as a jewel. She's comparing it to a jewel to let me know that British Columbia is really special because jewels are special, right? So by calling it the jewel of the West Coast, she's saying it's one of the most special places on the West Coast. Okay, so you're not going to use that example, but there are a ton in the poem. So I want you to find one way that the poet uses descriptive language. She compares something in Canada to something else so that we can understand it better. For most of you, this is going to be your first time hunting for descriptive language or figurative language, so give it your best shot. See what you can find, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? But take a risk. Don't give up. See what you can find in this poem with figurative language. And once you're done with that question, you are done with your ELA work for today. So I will see you tomorrow for week 5, day 3. Awesome work. Way to keep going learning about Canada, and I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.